everyone. So in this video, we will be talking about the classical literary movement, and we will also tap on classical works, its representative works such as the Aeneid by Virgil and Lysistrata by Aristophanes. Okay? All right. So when we're talking about the classical literary movement or the literary period, it refers to the literature of ancient Greece and Rome, which is notable for the excellence and enduring quality of its writers' work. So some might argue that in terms of trends and movements, the classical period, or they would start with the Romantic period. However, classics is what really started it all. You have under classics, we have Plato, we have Sophocles, Aristophanes. These are groundbreaking works of classic literary authors. But this period is extended from about 500 to 320 BCE in ancient Greece and from about 70 BCE to 80 BCE in Rome. The classical period, it is a golden age for literature, arts. This is the time in which logic, art, criticism, plays, the minds of geniuses are pouring. Though this we can consider this as a sad phase for women, it is a very good phase for literature and literary works. So Greek philosophers, as I've mentioned before, such as Plato, Socrates, and Aristotle, call this period home because this is where these literary figures were established, and Greek dramatists such as Euripides and Aristophanes. The classical literary movement has influenced later up until the present. We can see, that, for example, Eugene O'Neill's Morning becomes Electra, and Jean Racine's Phaedra. So this we can see modern writers even in today's society, like Circe by Madeline Miller, going back or tracing back to the classical literature because it's rich in plot, in logic, in magic. Not like magic in terms of romanticism, but rather in ideals. And the plot in its core, the tragedies are really tragic, the comedies are really comic, and though it's really rich in terms of ideas and story. And maybe that's the reason why even modern writers will keep on coming back to this literary period. So we will another characteristic of this type or this literary movement is its heroes. We have epics, we have um, Odyssey, we have Hector in Achilles, we have Agamemnon, Menelaus, the face of 100,000 ship Helen. We have gods and goddesses that keeps on meddling to human lives. Now, society and the text. So, in classical literature, you can see an overall theme of reason over emotion. So the classical literary movement is characterized by following by the following characteristic. One is inspiration from ancient Greek and Romance literature, culture, and art. And in terms of that, we can see the general theme of reasons over emotion. What's important is what is truth and what is right. Let me give you an example. If we will pull out in the story of Iliad, we have there seen some of the books. I think it's like book 7 or book 6 or book 7 of Iliad, in which Hector and his wife Andromache had this conversation of Andromache saying that, how about me, how about us, how about your children, you're also a father. But Hector said that I need to fight for my country. It's like reason over emotion. The emotion of being a father is put on the periphery, because there is a duty that should come first. And that is a general theme in terms of the classical literature. Okay? So some of the common themes in Greek and Roman classical literature are the role of the gods and goddesses in human affairs. This is very apparent, especially if we've read Virgil's Aeneid, and of course the infamous um, Iliad and Odyssey of Homer. The importance of honor and courage and bravery, duty, filial love, filial piety, the consequence of pride, arrogance, and disobedience, which is a reason why Odysseus took, it's after the fall of Troy, instead of finally going home, he were sent on a different, on several, in a different expedition that tested him because he's arrogant. The inevitability of that, and the struggle to find meaning in life, the power of love and its ability to inspire both great joy and great suffering. We can actually put here, if we can consider what happened with Helen and Paris as love, we can put that there. But of course, that is argumentative. The struggle between good and evil, we have, if we will put Beowulf. Beowulf is the hero of the story, and then Grendel. That's also part of the classical literature. The importance of family and community. And family and community. So let's put this into perspective. Family here is like, family is a father. For example, if we go back to Aeneid's Virgil, Aeneid was able to go out of the fire when Troy is burning, but he went back because he need to. But he carries his father on his back. So, and then all throughout the his journey to the land that was promised to him, he keeps his duty as a son to his father. The role of fate and destiny in shaping human lives. We have here an example of this is a very good example. It's very common. I forgot the name. It's um, the one that means a foot. What is that name? Anyways, it's the story of Oedipus. Yes, Oedipus. So Oedipus is a story about fate, regardless, as if saying to us that we do not have freedom to choose. Whatever happened is stated on fate. Okay. For example, in the story of Oedipus the king, he didn't do anything wrong. He was thrown out of the palace as a baby, put into the mercy of the forest, but then at the end of the day, he still found his way back and fulfilled the prophecy, because that is his fate. And yes, so that is for classical literature, classical literary movements. So stay tuned, follow and like the video for the second part, which is Aeneid, Virgil's Aeneid, focusing into Queen Dio of Carthage, and Lysistrata, Aristophanes' Lysistrata, and focusing on Lysistrata itself. We will be trying to put the critical lens of feminism into these two characters and how they're portrayed in the classical literature, which also gives us the idea of how classical idea is formed around women. Okay, bye. See you next video.